Hello. Hi, everybody. Oh, let's do it side by side. Hi. Hi, Amy.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Awesome. How's your week been so far, babe?
It's been pretty good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So tell me what's going on with your energy today.
Um, well, my kids and husband were gone all morning, so I've had a lot of time to just just been meditating and stuff. So it's been good. I actually was it was funny because right before the call started, I didn't feel nervous, but like earlier, this kind of wave of nervousness hit me, and so I was like, "Oh, help me ground," and
Cool. Oh, so your energy currently is like chilled. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Cool. So did you do your homework?
Yes, I did.
Let's hear it. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see Amy's intake interview, this is Amy. Everybody, welcome Amy to Metamorphosis Live. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Judes. So Amy and her hubby run a martial arts school in Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And they've been experiencing for the last 18. How long has your school been open? 4 years?
Well,
5 years?
it's like 5 years old. Yeah.
5 years. Okay. So for the first 4 years or so, your hubby ran the business with, hey, Sarah, with his granddad.
Yeah.
And then you guys were dating, but then you got married, and then you guys started working together in the business. But there was a lot of like lack of information around what was happening in your business with your finances, a lot of lack of access to bank accounts and things like that. And now, it's in the last, 6 months or so, 7 months?
Yeah, we're approaching a year. October will be a year.
Oh, okay. But we're not close to October yet. So, like, 7 months. Yeah. Just, yeah. So, in the last 7 months, Amy and her hubby took over the running of the business themselves, and the business has been increasing, and there's lots of really great stuff happening. And then that's created some fear with Amy, for spending money and being afraid that the money's going to disappear and stuff like that. Yes? Was that a good summary so far? Okay, cool. And then we kind of started delving into what she would rather be doing than working on the martial arts business. And we found out that Amy actually has a passion for healing. Whoops, no, never, oopsies. And so then we were reaching in to see if we could find some of Amy's limiting beliefs, as in, finishing the sentence, she would be working in healing now, but. Okay, what is the rest of that sentence?
All right. So I had a few things. There were a lot of fears. So I would be working in healing now, but I am afraid. And then there were several things that were under that.
Cool.
Of
Afraid of
putting myself out there as
putting.
just in
Oh,
the spiritual.
Hang on one sec. Putting self out there. What were you saying, babe?
Of putting myself out there in like the spiritual sense.
Oh,
Is
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then of I think of rejection of like kind of just what it is, I guess, and kind of being labeled as like woo woo. It doesn't it doesn't feel good, right?
Okay.
Of failure and of wasting resources.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
then so my next ones that I put were because I don't have a physical space to like have people in, money, and
Okay.
because I haven't started an LLC for it. And then
Oh, hang on one sec, babe. Don't have a physical space. Money. I'm not going to remember all of these things, so I want to write them down as much as I would love to. Money. You haven't started an LLC for it. Okay.
And then the last one that I wrote down is not sure of the first steps because kind of like there's a lot within it that I want to do, and so I'm kind of like, which one do I start with?
Good job.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yes, I agree. Judy says, great job recognizing the layers of different fears. That's really important. You did a great job finding your limiting beliefs about this. Okay, so that's very interesting. Okay, so what's really fascinating to me is that when you talk about this healing work, I can feel your whole energy like, ooh, like you're bowling up in fetal position, like you're blocking off your heart. You're like, nothing, no one, never mind.
Yep.
So do you have a fear of being seen? I mean, do you have a fear of
I think
your
so.
power?
Yeah, I think so. I think that it's a little bit of, whenever you make yourself bigger and you do shine brighter, it upsets people. And
Uh,
it's a little bit of, it's hard to like keep up the momentum when you have people that are trying to tear it down.
do you have experience with this?
I don't think necessarily there's anyone like specific. It's more of just kind of a general, like, well, I guess like as a teenager, it wasn't supported. Where now it's like my mom's kind of come around to more of this stuff. But it was very much like I wanted to be a vegetarian, and it was like I got so made fun of in my family, and like
Mhm.
just like whenever I started yoga, I was made fun of, and just all that kind of.
Whoa.
And yeah.
Were you raised in Texas?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's very much like a very like straightforward, straight down the line, kind of very like what you see is what you get kind of way of being.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a fascinating place for a gentle spirit like you to be raised. Because you are so gentle, like you're so gentle and like fluid and light as a spirit. Okay, so shining your light upsets people. That's very interesting. Shining your light upsets people. Tell me if you know the root cause of that narrative, because from what you said about your childhood, it sounds like you were definitely the butt of jokes.
Yeah,
What
within my
part of what part of that mm, translated in your brain that it was because they were upset with you?
um
Or is that a different experience?
I don't think it's so much upset with me. It's just like the main person that I can think that has done this, that in the past that like created this, was my brother. And I
Okay.
think that he's just very like he's a biomechanical engineer, and he's very much like math and science, and he just doesn't kind of believe in the stuff that I believe. And so
Mm.
he thought it was funny, and it was like it was just so like pushed off to the side.
Hmm. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm hearing is you don't know why you have this narrative that shining upsets people.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing? Okay.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
I don't have anyone in my life now. Like, even if I were to say something to my brother, like, I don't think it would still be that way.
Sure.
No
Well,
one,
I mean,
it's always better than expected, the outcome of it.
sure, and that totally makes sense. But I don't know if you've seen any of my classes or anything like that. Our mind is broken up into two different parts. We've got the conscious mind, which is, our logic, our reason, analyzing, decision making, willpower. And then we have our unconscious mind, which is our emotions, our beliefs, our feelings, our thoughts are mostly unconscious. Our self-talk, our behavior. We have automatic behavior that's maintained and controlled in the unconscious mind. And our unconscious mind actually is responsible for about 95% of our day. And our conscious mind is only responsible for about 5%, which is an enormous difference. And it feels like our conscious mind controls most of our day, but it really doesn't. Actually, most of it comes from our unconscious mind, and our programming comes from the large majority of our programming comes from our childhood, from before the age of 8. So whatever we were told, whatever we experienced is usually from before the age of 8 and becomes trapped there. And what's really interesting is we actually can't just access our unconscious mind, because there's like a guardian of the unconscious mind that in my world we call what do we call it, guys? Oh my God. Brain fart. Critical mind. Oh, got it. Thank you. Someone thought that. I picked it up. So we call it the critical mind, and it acts like the guardian. Those guys outside Windsor Castle with the hats. So the critical mind acts like a guardian for the unconscious mind, because so much of our unconscious behavior, oh, thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Vita. So much of the unconscious behavior is imperative. It's vital. The behavior, the unconscious automatic behavior that we have to formulate sentences, to choose words, to be able to eat, to be able to speak, to be able to walk. Okay, so all of that stuff is like really, really important. So our critical mind actually protects a lot of our programs, but it doesn't know the difference between important programs and false programs. It doesn't know the difference between good, bad, right, wrong, true, false. So you might have that belief, which obviously exists within your unconscious mind, that says, when you make yourself bigger, when you shine brighter, it upsets people. And you can't necessarily locate where that belief even came from, because you probably picked it up inferentially. So sometimes people say things to us directly as we're growing up, like, don't shine so bright. It's going to make your brother feel badly, right? So sometimes, our parents will say like direct stuff to us, and then that gets deeply rooted into our unconscious mind. But it doesn't always have to be direct. Sometimes it'll be inferential. Sometimes it'll just be like the look on their face when you shine a little bit brighter. Sometimes you'll come in all happy and singing and light, and they'll shh, right? Just something inferential that gives us the idea as we're growing up that behavior is unacceptable. And it creates this narrative that's not necessarily true, that isn't actually a truth in the outside world, that we have to keep our light hidden, that we have to turn it down, that we're too much, that we're too wild, that we're too big, that we're too expressive, right? And so it seems like you may have a version of that somewhere buried in your unconscious mind. Does any of that resonate with you?
Yeah, 100%.
Which parts seem to make sense to you?
Well, I feel like I can recall so many times where he, like, the subtle faces and things like that. And it, I think that has translated into maybe some other people doing that as well, to kind of trigger it, being removed because it's not serving me.
Yeah. Like what? Tell me more about
it. Like, the theme in my life.
Sure. Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, just kind of like if you're in a really good mood and, like, for some reason it seems to put someone else in a bad mood thing.
Right. And you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry that my happiness was upsetting you." Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what I'm hearing you say is you have lots of experiences of this throughout your life. Like, there's lots of times that old programming was reinforced.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I can definitely relate to that on so many levels because I always oh good. I always had a really loud laugh. And my laugh is it's a characteristic, it's a feature. So when I was in school, my friends would come up to me and say, "Oh, I know you were here," because they could hear you all the way downstairs. And I'd be like, "That's awesome." It's like a foghorn that lets people know I'm around, right? Um, and what was really interesting is when I went into foster care, that started being shushed, right? That's you're laughing too loudly. And then, when I moved back with my mom, yay, Sarah! That's why we love. Oh, me too, you too. Oh, how fun! And then when I moved back with my mom would say the same thing. She would constantly shush me when I was laughing. Ugh, don't laugh so loud. And it would actually irritate her to the point where I would like try to control my like bursting laughter because it was like upsetting people around me. And then as I moved into adulthood, I actually started to reverse that. And I realized someone said something to me once that that really stuck with me, which was, wow, um, which was exactly what you just said. My happiness seems to upset people. Like my happiness puts people in a bad mood. Like, wow, okay. Then take your bad mood outside of me because I'm gonna maintain my happiness, right? And then I started laughing loudly on purpose to break that barrier between laughing and trying to be quiet and trying to be demure and respectful and being like a good girl, not upsetting anybody, not rocking the boat, not yeah, really. Oh yeah, I know, really, really crazy stuff. Okay, babe, so what I had planned on working on today was summer is always slow. Tell me a little bit about, I know we talked about it in the intake interview, but tell me a little bit more about your relationship with money.
Um, so I was thinking about this a lot over the last week too, and it feels like it it's like the best example I can give is I've been like on my last $5 and I'd be like, oh my God, thinking about everything that I ever spent $5 on that I shouldn't have spent $5 on. And I realized that it came down to not not like 100% believing in infinite supply.
Yeah. I think it's really hard for most people to believe in infinite supply.
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of people who can resonate with that, right? What are some of the things that you think contradict a belief in infinite supply in your own life? What are some of your experiences?
Mm. Um, I think we'll definitely love, right? Love is
Okay.
um
Love
and
is
like
finding.
yeah, and joy like I don't know, like my children bring me so much joy. Like there's never ending supply there. And even just like I want to say like my dogs, like the love of my dogs, like that's an infinite supply.
Oh, I love that. So these are infinite things. Okay, beautiful. What about experiences or things that you have seen that reinforce the idea that money is finite in your brain?
um, I think feeling like you didn't have enough to do something that you wanted. Like, for example, we're going
You
to,
didn't? Yeah.
yeah, like, for example, we are going to Las Vegas in a week for the Taekwondo Nationals. My husband's competing. And
Wow, cool.
yeah,
Congratulations to him. Good luck.
thank you. He's actually the current national champion. So he's,
What?
yeah, yeah,
Your husband
he's
is the
really
current
good.
national
I don't
champion
feel
for
very bad for him,
Taekwondo.
but I don't think he feels worried either. So, but he worked hard for it, So, yeah,
That's
but we're really.
amazing.
Mhm. But whenever we were planning the trip, I was extremely stressed out because it didn't seem to make sense financially to go. And there was just like, it was, I guess it didn't really reinforce it though, because then so much came through that supported it. And now it's almost like it didn't cost us anything because so much came through for it.
What do you mean?
Um,
What do you mean so much?
well, his mom actually offered to pay quite a bit of it. So
So
we were so worried.
great.
And we were like, I can't decide if we're gonna go or not. And then we made the choice to go. And like a week later, his mom's like, "How much do you need? I'll help you." And his stepdad actually recently passed, so she was like, "It's from him. He's helping you."
Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, so that's really fascinating. Money was going to prevent him from defending his national title. Okay, so these money challenges exist within both of you.
Yeah.
And what's really fascinating is so does the tendency to turn your light down.
Yeah.
Because that was such a throwaway thing that you're like, oh yeah, he's the defending national champion. And you were like, yeah, he's, it's cool. He worked for it and it's whatever. But I can hear that lack of it being a big deal exists within him too.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's so fascinating. Okay.
So on that a little bit more is because so whenever you win at nationals, then you're on the USA team. And whenever you're on the USA team, you start to get like you go to the opens in different countries, which eventually would lead to the Olympics. And that is overwhelming for us to think about, I guess, because now I'm thinking about not just paying for one trip, it's all the other trips that it leads to. And in my head, I'm like, well, where does it end? And we don't want it to end, obviously. So that's not
Right, but there's a clear. Yeah, you want it to be able to, yeah, to go all the way.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. Okay, so that's really important. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So this fear of spending money is actually like this deep-seated terror. There is a deep lack of trust in money. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Your lack of trust, your fear of money or of the lack of money is actually the thing that is creating blocks for you in your life, which is really fascinating. Okay. May I have access to your energy field?
Yeah.
Please. Oh, thank you. Okay. Got it. Oh, what a just gorgeous, soft, tender heart you have. Thank you for allowing me to connect with you. So beautiful. Okay. But just, yeah, a fear that is so heightened and so palpable that I can literally feel you rocking in the corner, like in fetal position. Like it's just so terrifying for you to deal with money. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we are not going to clear that limiting belief today because that is not the priority. The priority is what we're going to be working on together in our sessions is so much more about creating a partnership with money. I don't think we're going to be able to get you to trust even in 4 sessions because it's so palpable. But at least we can get you to the place where you're willing to hold hands with it. Like you're willing to believe that it's not going to like whip you, like punish you or just suddenly leave. Tell me about some of the emotions that are coming up for you that you're trying really hard to suppress.
Um, I think just like sadness.
Yeah,
Because
tell me
you
more.
feel like it's, I guess it's just like kind of like guilt for like how you got to this place and kind of like, you know, I don't know, like I love God so much, so why am I not trusting when I'm seeing so much support?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you feel guilty for that lack of trust. Okay. Yeah. Why am I not trusting? Yeah. Good. I'm so proud of you for acknowledging that. Can you, when you say guilt about how I got here, what do you mean about how you got here? Where's that guilt coming from?
I guess just like, if you put yourself in a bad position and you're like, why did I do this to myself? Like
Got it.
it's kind of like you feel like you should have known better.
Okay. And honey, I want to draw your attention to something that is going to sting, but it's important for you to see this. Um, it's so painful for you to talk about this that you constantly refer to yourself in the third person. You
Yeah.
constantly refer to yourself as you as opposed to I.
Yeah.
Like that's how painful it is. That's how razor sharp this cuts you, is that you can't even bring it focusing on you. You have to direct it like outward because it's just so fucking painful. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. But the reason why I'm mentioning that is because when you can witness the depth of the pain, you can clear it all the way out as opposed to clearing out some of it, but not all of it. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay. So you feel like you put yourself in a bad position.
Yeah. Kind of like I don't know when I let these beliefs in, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Really? Is that what you're taking responsibility for right now? Oh, honey. No, babe. Oh, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Feel it, feel it. Let it come out right now. That's it. That's it. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. Yes. Oh my gosh. So good. So good. That's so good. That's so good. And I just want to recognize what a beautiful but painful tendency you have to take responsibility for things that are not your fault. Yeah. So what I'm hearing in that is that you've been taking responsibility for things that aren't your fault for a really long time. People have been making things your fault for a really long time. Yeah. Yeah, that feels really ouchy. So what I'm also hearing is you think that you are the cause of your money problems in your relationship. Okay, ouch. Ouchies. Okay. Now we're getting down to it. Okay. So you feel like maybe it's your money blocks that are preventing money from flowing into your life as easily as it could. Okay. You feel like it's your lack of trust that's preventing it from coming to both of you.
Yeah.
Oh, babe. Ouch. That is so much responsibility to carry on your shoulders, love. So much. I want to acknowledge that you are valid in feeling these feelings simply because they exist. So I'm not going to try to take them from you, and I'm not going to try to explain them away. But I am going to try to plant some additional potential beliefs that you can start to adopt and allow yourself to switch over just over time. And one of those things that I would like to present to you is that no, it's not time for that yet. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin our process. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you permission to release some of this pain that you've been carrying, some of this guilt that you've been carrying, some of this sense of responsibility, this disappointment that you have in yourself, this shame. You've got this shame that you're carrying about not doing the right things, not feeling the right things, not thinking the right things, having the wrong beliefs in your brain. Like there's so much shame and guilt that you have around carrying that. Oh, I let the wrong beliefs in. Well, the beliefs come in, babe, before you're 8 years old. So it's before we even have an awareness that that this stuff is even happening, that the beliefs begin to plant themselves in their mind. So if you're looking for someone to blame, we can absolutely place blame on your parents. I know we're not necessarily looking for someone to blame, but it's certainly not you, my love. You weren't wandering around as a 3-year-old going, where's some money beliefs? Oh, here's one about scarcity. I think I'm going to adopt this one. Okay, in you go. You know, like that's not what happened. You weren't like watching your parents fight about money going, oh, okay, I'm going to go ahead and believe the same fear that you guys have in money because that's what feels right. And that's my fault and my responsibility. Fuck no. You were just a little sweet cherubim, super water pixie, just like wandering through life creatively in the most bright way that you knew how. Like that's all you were doing. You were just showing up, and you were like, I'm showing up now, and I'm showing up now, and and then that's all. That's it. That's it. Everything else that you took on was coming from your environment. Okay, so no, it's not your fault. Judy said she's waiting for the F-bomb. Fuck! But it is your responsibility now. Taking it on wasn't your fault, but it is your responsibility to heal it for yourself. For yourself. And it's your husband's responsibility to heal it for himself. Okay? You guys have a very close connection in the fact that you have very similar limiting beliefs about money. And that's where you gel, right? That's where you come together. You relate to each other very deeply on this one, right? And your fear triggers his fear, triggers your fear, triggers his fear, triggers your fear. And you guys go around in this, little cycle. And yes, we can clear that belief, these associations with money for you. It's not going to clear his though. But the thing is, because you've been taking solid responsibility for it, it feels like it was your fault. You won't actually be able to perceive his limiting beliefs about money until yours aren't there anymore. And then you'd be like, wait a minute, that's not my truth. Stop putting that on me. That's your thing. I think we have plenty. And I believe that plenty is coming in. What were you saying, sorry?
I just said, yeah.
Okay, good. Good. And Beta says she can see the relief in you already. Yeah. Yeah, your energy field has settled a little bit. It's open and it's settled. We're going to go ahead and just clear out any more ickiness around your part that you have played with your family around money. And then we're going to go ahead and begin to introduce money to you in a slightly different way. Okay. We're going to have you meet money. You ready? Is there anything else that you wanted to share with me, love?
Not. I think that it's also, my dad passed like 7 years ago, and I was really close to him, and I still am. But I feel like part of the responsibility is something that he took on as well. I feel like it's a little bit generational there.
Got it. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about your dad's passing. But I'm happy to hear that you still have a strong connection with him across the veil, which is beautiful. It sounds like you were really close. Okay, so he carried that responsibility for your family, and it's almost like you feel like you're having to take up the mantle of carrying that responsibility for your family, or is it just a witnessing that it's generational?
Yeah, just kind of a witness thing. I feel like I guess really I feel like he's supporting me in letting it go because he feels guilty that he passed it on to me.
Oh, I love that. Does it feel appropriate for you to have a conversation with him about it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, great. Let's do that. I love that. It's so beautiful to meet people who can have that open connection with the beyond the veil energies. It's so very cool, which tells me that you're really, really, really special because you just have it. Did you study it?
I mean, I've done healing work with like a mentor, and
Okay.
that's how I came into kind of awareness of it.
Hmm.
But it's something that I feel like I feel like he like accepted a place like as a guide, and he's always with me now, whereas like before he would maybe pop in and out. And so I just feel really close
That's
to
fun.
him.
He got some kind of yeah, it feels like he got some kind of promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he chose to hang out on your team. That's super fun. Which means that he must have lived a really great life. It sounds like he learned a lot of good lessons and elevated as a soul when he was here. Good work. What's his name?
David.
Good work, David. Beautiful. Okay. Ah, yes. Okay. He does have a message that he wants to send through me specifically. Okay. Oh, he just wants me to facilitate a conversation. Okay, cool. Awesome. Let's do it. Okay, so stop by taking some nice deep cleansing breaths. Just keep your heart open. Open, 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 open. Beautiful. I know it's painful, babe. I know. And I also know that you're not a fan of feeling heavy emotions. So you'd rather sweep them away, tuck them neatly in the closet. That is not what we're doing here. We're going to just let them go. Because the beauty about releasing emotions is that once you breathe them out, once you release them, they're gone forever. Okay. Just breathing them through. I'm going to count you from 5 down to 0. And on each count, you'll find yourself going 5, 10, or 15 times deeper into this state of peace, calm, and relaxation. I'm going to go ahead and have you keep your heart center open the whole time, though, okay? Starting at 5. 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Even deeper. Okay, now we're going to stop. Keep your heart open. And also the door that's below that door that's open, keep that one open too. Over the years of criticism, you've become very good at creating several layers of protection for yourself in order to prevent harsh words from hurting you the worst. We're going to go ahead and open all of those doors for the purpose of this exercise so that you can release all of that bullshit. You don't need to hold on to any of it. Good. Good, good, good. And then as emotion begins to surface, what's the first one that comes up?
I feel like it's a little bit of anger.
Yeah, good. Feel it. And I want you to imagine sometimes, and then breathe it out through your mouth. Sometimes it's easier to release anger when we imagine that we're like dragons and the anger is burning through like fire, burning through our breath. Yeah. That's it. And this disintegrates everything in your vicinity, and that's okay because this is your imagination and nothing bad can happen. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing until the anger shifts. What does it shift into?
Sadness.
Yeah, then feel the sadness. Now that is a deep, deep well. So let it all just begin to come up. Ooh, open, 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 open. Okay, that is your least favorite emotion to feel. Okay, open, 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 all the way through, babe, all the way through. Good. Let it move out of your deepest heart as it moves up and through. Good work. Excellent. Just dredging it up, almost like we're pumping it up, letting it come up. And moving it through and out of your body, out of your energy field, out through your breath. Beautiful. Okay, now there's more anger, but it's more ragey. Let it come out. This one is thick and black and feels very dangerous to you because you do not allow yourself to feel rage this intense. Let it come out. Okay, it's coming out with betrayal and violation and lack of acceptance. There it is. Inferiority. And it's being fueled by a righteous indignation that says, how dare you? Feel the depths of that. Let it all move through you. Let it all come out. That's it. That's it. That's it. And that frustration and that sadness and that grief that's all mixed up in it, it's okay to acknowledge that and let that release as well. Beautiful. Stay open, stay open, stay open. Beautiful. And there was an emotion that spiked you that caused your heart to slam shut. Let's go ahead and open it again. Open it, open it, open it. Can you identify that emotion at all? Or
I think it's regret.
oh, good. Okay, open it up and breathe that through. Ooh, okay. Open, open, open. This one you're actually going to have to try very conscientiously to keep your heart open. And I misspoke. Sadness is not your least favorite emotion. Regret is so far your least favorite emotion because it's so unpleasant for you to experience regret that your mind closes on it entirely, completely, smoothly, as if you have no emotion, as if you become apathetic. Yeah. So we're just going to keep your heart open. Feel that regret, breathe it into your lungs and then up and out of your mouth. Open, 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 open. Good. That's it. That's it. Beautiful. Good. Whoa. Okay. And then all of a sudden I feel everything coming to stillness. When you're back to stillness, nod your head for me. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and keep your heart open. Now imagine you invite and allow an image that represents money. When it's here, nod your head. Good. How would you describe that image?
It's like a real physical dollar or like a bag of money.
Cool. What's its energy like?
It feels like I want to say like grumpy.
Sure. How do you feel being with money?
Not very good.
Yeah.
It's like
So if not very good, what is it?
it feels like the money feels like a rough energy, and so I'm like, I don't want that.
Feels like you have to protect yourself from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Good noticing. I want you to imagine that you could walk along while you talk things over together. Ask money how it feels, what it wants. What's it here for? And how does it respond to that?
It feels like it's almost kind of angry at me. Like it's like, well, I'm just trying to help.
Mm. How does it feel to know that?
Kind of sad.
Yeah. So now I want you to imagine that you and money could switch places. So you become money, money will become you. You'll always trade back again. And once you're in the energy of money, or in the body of money, nod your head for me. Good. What's the first thing you notice about that?
It's easy. It feels light.
Beautiful. How is that to notice?
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Feels like silly. Like
Playful, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I want you to look out through the eyes of money into the world and notice how the world appears to you. What's that like?
It feels like sunny, like a beautiful day.
Beautiful. Now look over at yourself, still as money. So as money, look over at yourself. And what's that like?
Now I'm the grumpy one.
Wow. What do you want to say as money to yourself?
That it's okay and that it's safe.
Mm. Beautiful. Now switch back to yourself. You become you. Money becomes money again. And receive that. Take that in. Take that it's okay. It's safe. Breathe it into your body. Let it land. Let it settle. What else? Is there anything else that money would like to say to you?
I'm here for you.
Beautiful. Receive that. Is there anything that you would like to say to money?
Thank you.
Beautiful. What do you notice about money now that you didn't notice before?
It feels more calm.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm seeing money instead of like a cloud around it.
Yeah. What did the cloud represent?
It feels like dirty, like it's like a smog cloud.
Yeah. Where do you think that cloud came from?
Me.
Yeah. Your perception of money. Yeah. Fascinating, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And any guilt that comes up with that association, breathe that out. Don't hold on to it. Don't feed into the story. Just let it pass through you. You weren't doing it on purpose, love. You're not a sadist. Or don't you know that? Beautiful. Thank money for being here today. We're going to have some more journeys with it in our time together. But for today, that is plenty. And let it be released. Let it just move off. Even though we're letting it go, it's going to stay right there because it's always right there. And now I'll just bring your dad in. When he's here, nod your head for me. Yeah. He has something to say to you about this generational burden. What is it?
He's sorry.
And what do you want to say about that?
That I forgive him and that it wasn't his fault either. And
That's right.
thank you for being here and working through it with me.
Yeah. And how does he respond to that?
He's grateful.
Yeah. And when you're ready, go ahead and give it back to him. And he can hand it back to the person that gave it to him. And they can hand it back to the person that gave it to them. We can just pass it all the way back through the family line. Watching your family line ripple as that's handed back and back and back and back. And a new truth settles into your ancestral line that begins with you. Just noticing it click into place. Once that feels complete, nod your head for me. Beautiful. Thanking your dad one more time for being present and then also just sticking with you to help you work through this stuff. Letting him, putting love and light around him, letting go back to beyond the veil, not in our absolute conscious awareness. 1 is a nice deep cleansing breath in. 2 is coming back to the body, back to the room. Good. 3 is a wonderful sense of well-being. 4, an even more alert number. And 5 is eyes open, wide awake, and alert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, eyes open, wide awake, and alert. Hi.
Hey.
How are you feeling?
Good. Feel better.
Yeah, can see
Feel
it.
much calmer.
Yeah. Calmer. There's just like a settling in your energy around money specifically. Like we haven't worked on it yet. We haven't worked on trust yet, but there's just a natural like tendency to believe that money is more trustworthy that I can feel has begun to take root. That's beautiful. All right, my love, your homework. You don't have any. I just want you to witness. I just want you to witness yourself throughout this week, especially with regards to money. Notice if there's any shifting, any changing. Okay. Cool. That's it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us. So brave, so courageous, so vulnerable, Miss Amy.
Thank you.
Have an amazing week, and we'll see you next Friday. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye.